Hi everyone, Victoria here. I wanted to talk to you today about your B2B Global Platform. And this is an opportunity of a lifetime for you. An opportunity for you to put your content, your intellectual property into one platform, and instead of selling B2C, you're selling B2B. So you're selling to organizations who have budgets to spend. Organizations are actively seeking content, frameworks, methodology for their business. And more than ever, organizations are looking to host it in-house because there are so many companies with hybrid, people working from home 3 or 4 days, people coming into the office globally. So having something in-house that their entire organization can access is such a help to them. What I wanted to share with you today, and this is something that I get asked quite frequently, what could I include in my B2B Global Platform? Now, let's use an example of leadership. Leadership is one of the topics that organizations are purchasing license to every single day. They are looking for leadership methodologies, frameworks, formulas, processes, systems, tools, solutions that they can host in-house. Now, with your B2B Global Platform, you're not having to go into an office and present or facilitate workshops. You're not having to go onto Zoom and look after meetings. What happens is your content is in one central destination that people can access. And organizations pay very high ticket for this, anywhere between $50K all the way through to $1 million. So let's have a look at what an example could be for a licensing model. And I want to share with you more of an overview and not get into too much specifics, because when I'm working with my clients, I do sign an NDA. So this is more an overview, and this is what we are seeing selling at the moment. Now, in terms of a global leadership platform, something that's really popular is succession planning templates. So resources for the team themselves to be able to use these templates for their own teams, for their own development. Performance managing systems, so templates and playbooks for setting goals, tracking KPIs, giving feedback. And something I want you to consider as you're really starting to map out what content you're going to include is organizations do not want their staff, their people, sitting at their desk and watching a 3-hour webinar. Now, a few years ago, our B2B Global Platforms were full of long training videos. One of mine personally went for 15 hours, obviously broken up into modules. They want bite-sized pieces of content that are going to help their people. Regardless of what it is that you're helping them with, they want them to be bite-sized, something that they can digest and implement quickly. So think about it from the organizational's perspective. People digest content differently. People learn very differently. Video, audio, written. So repurpose your content in a way that it's accessible across the board. So what about things like a team collaboration and communication framework, guides, short workshops, and tools to improve cross-functional teamwork? High potential talent assessment toolkits, structured tools to identify and track top performers within their team. Executive leadership frameworks, a step-by-step roadmap for developing senior leaders with measurable impact. You could help with onboarding or ramp-up programs. We have a beautiful client who helps organizations of less than 100 employees with their onboarding. So they have a variety of templates, training, they have a 1-day workshop, and everything is included in one central platform. Some other things that you could consider, and these are really, really popular at the moment, and they are self-reflection guides or self-reflection tools. So organizational culture alignment modules, leadership, self-assessment and reflection guides, innovation and problem-solving frameworks, emotional intelligent development programs. These are just overarching. And if you're not in the leadership niche, you can start thinking about how you can integrate different topics and categories into your B2B global platform. Some tips that I would love to share with you today, and these are things that I'm seeing people get wrong in this space. Trying to put everything in one platform. And people will come and work with me and say, Victoria, I have got 110 modules. I want them all in there. I've got 85 templates. I want them all in there. Less is more. And instead of just throwing it into Kajabi or throwing it into ClickFunnels or Go High Level and hoping people can figure it out on their own, there's a few avenues that you can take. One that we find really works well, there's actually two that work the best. One that works really well is a roadmap, a blueprint, something for people to follow. And this is why it is absolutely essential that you do go niche with this. Now, if you've been in my world for a while, you know that I have offers and products and services to serve all of my audience who are looking to monetize their content and intellectual property. But when it comes to something like a B2B global platform and licensing your intellectual property, we want to really hone in and speak to one target audience. Otherwise, you're just shouting from the rooftops and nobody's listening. You need to lean in and whisper the right words in the right ear at the right time. Absolutely imperative. In addition to the roadmap, the blueprint, the second way that's incredibly helpful for organizations is for people that are struggling with something. So let's say your platform is really about helping organizations help their people overcome overwhelm, anxiety, burnout in the workplace. So instead of them coming in and having to follow a blueprint, instead they might be going into a presentation and they must pitch. They are feeling so anxious, they're feeling really underprepared, and they need a pep talk. They look around the office, everybody's busy, Bob's over there making coffee, Sarah's on the phone, we've got, let's say, Maggie over there, she's about to walk into a meeting. Like, there's so much going on, and in that moment they're feeling overwhelmed, they're feeling stressed. They can go into your platform and type in maybe what they're experiencing at that moment. They're overwhelmed, they're feeling stressed, they're about to, go into a presentation, and then your content comes up in terms of micro solutions for them. So they could go ahead and type in, feeling stressed or just the word stress. And your content pieces that match that come up. So they then get to choose what's right for them in that moment. They're very much micro moments in the workplace. We have a client who has a beautiful foundational stretching and movement platform in the workplace. So if people are sitting at their desk for hours and hours on end, they are able to log in and do some stretching at their desk, next to their desk. Maybe they can go outside and do some stretching, but it's micro moments. They're not going for a 45-minute workout. They're not going through a strength training session for an hour and a half or a Pilates or yoga class for 40 minutes. It's micro moments. In that moment, I need to stretch my body. I need to move. They also have a section around travel. A lot of their staff travel. So movement, stretching, when you're at your hotel, when you're at the airport, when you're standing up on the plane, movement, stretching. Again, micro moments in the moment. So organizations are actively looking for these type of solutions But I want you to think with your content, instead of just throwing everything in there and just hoping something sticks, you either look at it as a blueprint, something for them to follow and work through. Or you could have the micro moments. They have a problem in that moment and you have a solution to that problem, whatever that might be. Somebody has to do a presentation, they have to do some public speaking to a whole team. They're so nervous. Maybe you have a beautiful module on them overcoming that and helping them, giving them some tools that they can implement. These are legacy pieces that you are building. And what I love so much about B2B global platforms, and I know I talk about this all the time, but it's not just the money that you're going to create. You're going to be beautifully compensated for your work, finally. Having conversations with people that have money to spend, budgets allocated. 2, the impact, your body of work in the hands of tens of thousands of people all over the world. 3, the freedom that it's going to bring you. You build this digital asset once and sell it on repeat over and over and over again. You're leveraging, it's compounding over time. In addition to that, you have an opportunity for an exit strategy. You could sell this platform in 2 to 5 years. So it's really about building something once that is so exquisite. It's a unicorn piece, a legacy piece, a masterpiece that stands the test of time. So as you're thinking about building a B2B global platform for yourself, this is a whole new business model that gives you that opportunity to create something that is so substantial and sustainable and is actually helping people. But I want you to think deeply before you just start throwing things into your B2B platform, which I see all the time. People will often ask me to have a look at their content, look at their platform outline, and it's just full of everything. Organizations are repelled by that. And what you have to remember here, you're not doing paid ads or sales calls. You're not convincing anyone. You're not asking people to buy. You're inviting your dream unicorn buyers, companies, organizations, startups, brands, businesses that you know your work could impact, whether their entire organization or a department or a group of people within that organization. You're hand-picking these people, inviting them to a free trial, 7, 14, 21 or 30-day free trial, and inviting them to experience your magic. And instead of just giving it to them or selling it to them, they are purchasing a license from you. Think about when you go and book an Airbnb. Let's say you're going away for 2 weeks, you're booking an Airbnb, you're not purchasing that property, you're not renting it for 12 months. It's almost like they are lending it to you and there's a transaction that transpires. You are lending your content for a limited amount of time, and you can do it in a few different ways. You can do it very straightforward, very simple, where it's like, okay, $250,000 for a 12-month license. You get access to everything inside my portal, my vault, my platform, and everybody in your organization gets access to it. Or you could sell it by seat, by users. Think about Slack. Whenever we bring new clients on, new team members, we pay for another seat, another user per month. You could do that as well. I will say something though. Organizations, I've really noticed, love the one transaction versus the monthly. They're not really looking for payment plans or financing or anything like that that you deal with in the one-to-one space. The one transaction for the 12-month license seems to work the best. But again, what is so beautiful about this is it's all bespoke. It's all custom. I had a gorgeous client who I spoke to last night, and she's been speaking with a finance company, and the finance company is really interested in what she's doing. But she said, but we don't love your branding. Her branding is all black, it's gold, and then it's got this beautiful like aqua splash through it. It doesn't match the finance company's brand. It doesn't match their font, their colors, their style at all. And simple question, what can we do for it to reflect us? So she is now putting their logo, their brand style guide on Go High Level. She's white labeling it, and it's costing a lot more money, above 6 figures, for them to do that. Bespoke. Not everyone's going to want it to be white labeled, but you need to have all of these opportunities because you're dealing with organizations and you're dealing with CEOs, managing directors, HR managers, founders of startups, people that know what they want and they do have money to spend. They're not going to say, okay, I need to go back and speak to my partner. I need to think about it more. I have 12,000 other questions. When you're working in this unicorn universe, which I love to call it, you're dealing with people that are very, very self-led, meaning they don't need 1,200 follow-ups. They don't need to go through your content for 3 years to make a decision. They move very fast in this world. And if you're selling in the high ticket space like I do, you know people buy really quickly. Last Friday, I was just on Facebook. My team had been doing some uploading of content, and I was just going through Facebook. I was having a look at what they had uploaded over the last couple of days. My DMs did a little ding. I went into my DM. There was a lovely lady in there, and she said, I had just watched one of your videos on YouTube. It was like I think it was a 34, or it was either a 34 or a 43-minute video. I can't remember. And she said, and yeah, I'd love to buy. Can you send me the invoice? And I said to her, absolutely. Do you have any questions? Would you like to jump on a call? No, but I'd really like to get started on this particular date that she had. And can you send the invoice? My finance team sent the invoice through. It's a $20,000 US investment, was paid within, I think, less than 15 minutes. People are very self-led in this space of the unicorn universe. So you're going to be dealing with organizations that are going to be, you know, maybe they're not going to pay in less than 15 minutes because it needs to go through, you know, some extra channels, but the payments happen. You're not having chargebacks. You're not doing refunds. You're not having people asking, you know, can you do this and can you do that and can you turn up for this meeting? There is a lot of hands-off delivery because what you have built, they have access to. So they're not looking for you to come in as a facilitator. They're not looking for you to create extra workbooks and guides or new modules. You build something once and sell it on repeat at very high ticket. Think that 50K through to $1 million. So as you're really starting to think about your B2B global platform, I want you to start changing your mindset a little bit because so many people think, oh, why would somebody buy this from me? You know, like I'm not an expert with 3 million followers, you know, I don't have this and I don't have that and I haven't been in business for X amount of time. If you're able to provide a solution to something that they are experiencing as an entire organization or a portion or a group or a department, that is when they buy. And it becomes either this effortless yes or a no because you're providing value before transaction. Here is everything inside the platform. Go for it. Whoever needs to, as the decision makers, go through it. Ask me any questions. And what happens is they get to experience your magic and make a decision that this is exactly what we need right now, or it's not a good fit for us. And often the no is often not now or not yet or not right in this moment because we've just spent our budget on something. So think today about what I've shared with you. And I just wanted to give you those few leadership examples so you can start thinking of the type of content that you can really start curating. But build something of substance, something that really means something, that when people go through it, they're like, I can't even compare this to anything else. You know, how many people have heard someone say, oh, I could get that for free on YouTube, or just go to Reddit, there's heaps of links there, or, you know, always these excuses of you can get it for free, cheaper. We're not in that world. We don't play in that field in the unicorn universe. No one's going to come to you and say, oh, I love that, but I don't have 500K to spend on that, but I've got like 3,000 I could pay this month. It's a different space. It's a different world that you're dealing in. And you really remove yourself from that hustle and from that grind and that overwhelm of, I've always got to create new content. I've always got to be doing more. You build something once that is a legacy masterpiece that stands the test of time and sell it on repeat. And you get to experience that beautiful compensation that you deserve, that your body of work deserves. The impact, seeing this ripple effect of your body of work being experienced and shared and talked about and recommended. And then the freedom. You don't have to trade time for money anymore. And I want you to think about if you had a $350,000 license for 12 months, if you sold one every 3 months, how would that change your life? What if you sold one every single month? How would that change your life? Start thinking so much bigger than you've ever thought before, because this licensing model is how people, coaches, consultants, course creators, experts, speakers, authors, brand builders, brand owners are really making a lot of money quietly, because these are conversations that aren't taking place on Facebook or Instagram. It's hand-picked selection. You're choosing your unicorn dream clients. And it gets to be so effortless once you build it. And this is a build that you can do. We've had people do their entire build in less than a week and start selling. You need to really decide where you want to go with this and how big you want this to be. So think about what I've said today. If anything has ignited a spark, you feel excited, you feel that fire of, yes, I want this. I really want this type of business model and lifestyle. Comment below, reach out to me in the DMs. Let's have a conversation, really transparent, $20,000 US investment for the two of us to work together one-on-one, not with my team, not with my support coaches. It's with me, Monday to Friday, unlimited. We build it all together. We launch it together. We sell it together. And I have my personal guarantee that I will work with you until you've sold your first high-ticket license, because we all know how important results are, our ROI, our return on investment. So reach out. That is my little puppy snoring at my feet. Reach out. Let's have a conversation. I'm happy to have an audit of your work, see what your content is like, give you some recommendations of what I would do if I was in your shoes. But if it's time to make the move, do it now. Stop waiting. No one's coming to do it for you. It's time for you to do this. All right. Thank you for sharing your time with me today. I cannot wait to work with you on bringing to life your B2B global platform and for you to be beautifully compensated and create the impact and freedom that you've been waiting for. Thanks again, everyone, and bye for now.